There once was a farmer who planted corn in a field every planting season. He eventually followed up to take care of it, and when it was harvest time, he had a tough time with monkeys that lived in the nearby bushes. So he will always go there to chase them away. But behold, the monkeys would possibly have had a bite before the field owner came chasing in the early morning hours. This happened daily until the harvest season was over. The monkeys did have enough to eat for the time being. One morning, this farmer was attacked and killed. The monkeys went up madly in joy, celebrating that there would be no one to disturb them during the next corn season. Behold, the next planting season, there was no corn growing and no old man to chase them away. Only then did they realize the important role the farmer had been playing in their lives prior to his demise. Now, this is a very common story that you must have heard several times, but today I want to relate it in a different point of view. Let's call it Economics 101. Let's substitute this satirical story with us. As parents, we complain every day that our kids don't have jobs. As job seekers, we complain that we don't have jobs as well. But what is a job, if I may ask you? How can you get one? How can it be created? Without using my dictionary, a job will simply be a scheme where goods are produced and services are rendered, also known as labor. The people who render the services and produce the goods are the employees. We have an entrepreneur or a CEO who hires the job seekers so that they may get a salary while providing you, the customer, with a certain service you need. Let's go back to our story. Supposedly, Mr. Wanyong lives in town A and has two companies. He yarns cotton to produce fabrics, subsequently t-shirts and shoes. He also has a food processing sector that produces dairy products. In this venture, your son and his friend are some of his employees. He also employs up to 1,000 other people, from accountants, managers to security men. Mr. Wanyong cannot export his products because he hasn't got the necessary license to do so, especially in developed countries. He equally has never missed paying his workers' salary, maybe with other benefits too. Now you suddenly go to the market and you notice a new brand in the market. It's seemingly cheaper. So while in the market, every time you buy, you never buy what Mr. Wanyong is producing. You learned that these things are produced from China and that's why they're cheaper. And because you think it's from China, you suddenly assume its superiority in quality over what your son is being paid to produce. Whereas it may only be flashy in color and not as good as you think. Maybe it's toxic, but you don't know. You commit an economic suicide, genocide, and murder simultaneously. You tell your friends the good news of the cheaper products in town and where you buy them, while mocking Mr. Wanyong for his superior yet expensive goods, only expensive because you saw cheaper ones. Your friend tells a friend and suddenly everyone is buying China, foreign made, and boycotting Mr. Wanyong's homemade. His goods stay on the shelves in the stores and he's eventually kicked out of the market. Now he reduces his workers due to unfair competition and your son is fired as well as many others. Mr. Wanyong moves to the US and lives happily ever after. You're happy he has left. Suddenly your son, who was once a worker, can't find a job and is asking you for money for simple rubbing oil, and that's just the genesis. You lay curses here and there without knowing you caused this problem. By now, I'm sure you must have understood who the happy monkey is and who the farmer is. Maybe this time the farmer did not die. The bottom line is there will never be employment without jobs. And if our jobs are exported to other countries, why we turn our fragile economies into consumers and not producers? There will never be jobs for our managers, accountants, electricians, food processors. They will only have enough jobs for teachers, which already is saturated. We should boycott economic dumping by supporting at all costs homegrown goods, wherever necessary, irrespective of cost. And you, Mr. Producer, shouldn't take advantage of patronization to get rich in a day. It's a gradual process, and do learn to win the hearts of your customers. Permit me to be rude for a while. There is this stupid ideology that makes us to think that goods from abroad are superior to homemade goods. We always say bush cargo with some sort of internal contentment or pride, while mocking those who make the effort to go organic or country. I mean homegrown. Nothing I have said here is a new concept. I made a video about learning. Check the descriptions, and I believe we studied all of this in economics. Even if you did not study the economics, it's not rocket science to figure this out. Sadly, we studied for the A grades and not to apply in our lives. Let's relate and practice what we learned back in school, and life will be easier. We will also be able to make better decisions and not wait for policies from people who also don't know their left from their right. You may want to say you are an artist and it doesn't concern you. You get branded in foreign apparels just because you think you have arrived. You refuse deals with domestic brands and you don't promote them. You only will feel the pinch of your pride when you finally get to a show and the seats are empty because the supposed fans can't afford your tickets. Still on the artist saga, you cry for your funds to support you, only you. When they do support you, you spend your funds abroad on foreign brands. You feel like you should be breathing foreign oxygen too. So you don't support them and the entire system crumbles. You come online to bash at people who made you who you are as an artist. Or you are a mason, an architect, and you build houses for a living. It doesn't affect you, right? But the people who are supposed to hire you, accountants, the factory workers, the shoemakers, can't afford for reasons you best know. All sectors are strictly connected, and the absence of one only creates a dominoes effect in all other sectors. Now we have chaos because many are absent except for religion. The bottom line is everyone needs support, not only some people, and it shouldn't be weaponized. One of the greatest scams of this life is when you leave your hometown in your youthful age, the most productive part of your life. Now, you did not only leave your hometown, you went abroad, maybe a good thing, but you're building elsewhere and sadly your efforts are not valued or at least appreciated. You waste a lifetime in another man's land and you're not able to secure a future for your kids. An environment with no youths and no kids to ensure continuity. It's called rural exodus and brain drain, but I call it the last straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm sure you're wondering how your efforts in boycotting foreign-made goods to home goods singularly will be meaningless and hence no need. You decide to follow the crowd, but remember you need your son to start working again. You can use the very mouth to tell your friends that they need to consume country. We should learn to share good knowledge or anything we have learned that will collectively help everyone. If we try it this way, wherever necessary, that's to say, the monkeys go to the rescue of the poor farmer from the attack, then I'm sure you and I will be certain that there will be enough corn in the fields every sowing and harvesting season. We grow by lifting others. I am 'cause you are. Believe.